Hey y'all, good morning. Welcome to, or whenever you're watching or listening to this. But hi, I'm Caroline Cole, and welcome to Working Wednesday. Today we're stepping inside my booth because I have several projects lined up today, and they each require a different kind of voice. So we're going from young adult novel to pickups for a political book to some meditation, chill tracks, and then let's see, what else have we got? Oh, the sample for a new project that's how to find your passion. So we're going to go for that inspiring voice and a couple other projects that we'll pop around to. And you'll see how we work to change our voices based on what different projects need. So same day, same booth, different voices. Let's rock and roll. Chapter 2. Mother wanted me to fast and meditate to get myself ready to meet the God of the deep with my offering. I went back to my garden and positioned myself as the most dedicated of petitioners, facing the dark caverns of the shrine and altar Mother built. This first one that I just read was from a young adult novel. I'm doing chapter 2, as you can hear, and it's the closest thing really in the booth that day, the other day when I was recording, that is a character voice, honestly, because it is in first person and the narrator is about a 17-year-old girl. So it's a little bit higher, chapter 2, right, than my regular speaking voice like I'm using right now. Now, it's a character voice a little bit. However, it's also something you have to listen to for the entirety of a novel. So it can't be a really annoying or over-the-top character voice.
So it would be really hard to read a whole novel like this. If you were listening, you'd get really annoyed.
Right? Right. You can't listen to that for several hours. You can listen to it if it switches between other characters, but when you're doing a character voice to narrate a novel, it's better, in my opinion, and this is what I've done when I do young adult novels, to pick something that's a little less extreme. So that was voice number 1. There's the one. Voice number 1. A character voice for a young adult novel. It was 2016, and presidential hopefuls Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, with their chorus of also-rans, were having playground fistfights on the campaign trail. Meanwhile, my son Mitchell, 17 years old at the time, was analyzing the race for his high school civics course. Okay, so that sample was, well, what I was working on the other day was pickups for this same novel, but I've included just a little snippet of a political first-person narrative that I was working on. So, this narrator, it's first person, like I said, so we're playing a bit of a character, but it's normal lady does normal lady things. But her character that I'm voicing is more energetic than my regular voice. I might talk to you like this. We're talking, right? Normal, having a conversation. But for this character, she's full of energy. There's lots of things when this was happening and this was happening, right? So I'm really strengthening my core here, and I'm opening my eyes wide and making a lot of expressions and using a lot of hand gestures, like politicians do, but also trying not to hit the mic or get anything mixed up there. So that voice, normal, but full of energy. So it's a bit different than our first voice there. Introduction. One question has the power to completely transform your entire life. Einstein once said, "If I had an hour to solve a problem and my life depended on the solution, I would spend the first 55 minutes determining the proper question to ask. For once I know the proper question, I could solve the problem in less than 5 minutes." This third one is the beginning of a new project, so I'm trying something out when I record this sample, right? So I don't know yet whether or not the rights holder is going to say, "Good job, keep going," or "We need to switch it up a bit." But when I do this sample, I'm thinking, okay, this is also first person. This sample is in first person. This whole novel is going to be in first person. And it's inspiring. So it's going to be a little bit slower than, let's say, sample 2, that political, really energetic one. It's a little bit slower, and it's, listen, we're going to do this. So it's a little bit lower in my voice than it was before. So we're not up here with my little girl, and we're not talking really fast, but we're going, hey, you can do it. It's more like a coach on the sidelines situation. So while we're not doing like, oh my God, we're not making crazy character voices for this same day, different voice situation, we are considering ourselves as different characters because I am reading in first person and they are different characters so far. These first three have been. So this is more like a coach, more like a yes, you got it. And this person whose novel I'm reading is both an author and a writing coach. So, hey-oh, there you go. All right, that was that one. Meditation. Give yourself some quiet time alone now to ask yourself some questions. Sit down in a quiet place where you will not be disturbed and close your eyes. Bring your awareness to your breathing. And for the fourth one, we've slowed it down, as you can see. So, when we go into this more meditative voice, it's definitely slower, calmer, a lot more so than my regular voice, as you've heard. However, I do have this voice in my repertoire. I am a yoga instructor as well. So, as a yoga therapist, and I've been trained and taught a lot of people and worked with a lot of clients, I already kind of have practiced this voice in everyday life. Also, this is not my first meditation track. However, when we're doing meditation tracks, it's not a character voice, but it is a more calming voice, a less directly engaging voice. You're not wanting the listener to be listening, oh, what's she gonna say next, right? You don't want their ear pressed up against the video or into their earphones, but you want them to be able to feel your voice and let your voice lead their experience. So it's much calmer, slower, perhaps a little lower, right? It's, I want to say disengaging, but that's not exactly the word I'm looking for, but it is less active. It's more relaxing voice. So that means when I'm in the booth recording that, I'm going to breathe more deeply. I'm going to make sure, just double check my posture, right? And then we record that meditative tone. There you go. All right, let's head into our last voice for today. This North Texas Giving Day, you can join us on our mission to heal women and children who have been impacted by domestic violence. You can either give early, between September 1st and 16th, or wait until September 17th to donate. So this particular piece of voiceover is more of a call to action, right? We are asking the listener to do something, which is something all four previous voices, except for maybe the meditation voice, we're asking them to please relax, right? But this fourth one is asking for money. So there's a little more energy behind it. And it comes, this is at the end of a lot of informative information, redundant, but it's after a lot of information about the organization. So it's kind of the finale. So it's a lot of energy, but a lot of confidence and saying, we've sold this to you and now it's time for you to do your part. So again, a regular voice, but it's a different energy than we've heard with all the other voices that we've recorded today. So yeah. This is a really interesting topic to me because I think when we talk in voiceover about different voices, we're thinking, oh, I have to be able to do all these character voices, right? Yeah, sure, you do, and that's very helpful, and it's so fun to do characters, of course, but the bulk of your work, and the bulk of my work, I would say, as a voiceover actor, has been in this very normal stuff that we're doing, right? So normal voices, the more variety and the different tones and different energies you can bring to your regular voice, that will book different types of gigs. So That's what's fun. And yeah, and also using those before we wrap up, learning how to use those. And I think the best way to practice those is in auditions. So when you're auditioning for different audiobooks, practice using different tones, right? So you're auditioning for a suspense novel, totally different tone than an informative business book, right? So practicing those different tones in your auditions is a good way to get that practice. All right. Good luck, guys. Have fun. See you later.